All right, I'm back. So, as I stated in my previous video that I'll show you in this one how to set up OBS to where you can put in multiple sources and scenes to provide a better, I wouldn't say better, to provide a great performance, okay? I use 32-bit OBS, and everything that's going to be set up here is using 32-bit, so keep that in mind. That is key here. If you use 64-bit, these steps likely will not work. Main reason why is because a lot of things that I use that are not 64 compatible. And, you know, if you're trying to message me asking me how can I set up using 64-bit, my answer is going to be use Google, because I don't know. Just being honest, I'm going to show you the best way to do everything that I do using 32-bit OBS. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and pull up the monitor, and we're going to walk through this step by step. Oh, there's my stream. I was doing that. Let me minimize out of that. There we go. I had it open because I'm trying to test something there. Now, that being said, here we are. We're on this right now. This is the setup that I use. Show you everything that I use for when I stream. This is DeepBot. I just got it a little over a month ago. I can speak for my voice chat client so that whenever people come in and go, hey, join, can I come chat with you? Cool. If I'm in the mood with talking people, no problem. So I have this open, and let me go ahead and show you. So this is my CPU usage when I'm streaming. This is when I'm live. A good chunk of it, of this 30% right now, is because I'm using aim capture. Hey Yoshi. So, ow. When I'm setting this up here, I'm going to tell you right now, never want to use a monitor capture unless you absolutely have to. You can still use a screen capture, which is better than a monitor capture because it will not use the resources that a monitor capture does. So if you play browser games and things of that nature, use a screen capture instead to capture that Flash or Java window that you're trying to play. I'll have to show you how to do that first. So, like for instance right now, let me go ahead, I'm going to move this over here so that way it's no longer. Nah, let me check. What is it that you play all the time? Town of Salem?
Yeah, I play Town of Salem.
Okay. So let's go ahead and go to Town of Salem. What is it, townofsalem.com?
Blank Media Games.
Black Media Games? Blank or black? Blank Media.
I'll just send it to you.
I got it right here. Alright, so for instance, we're looking at right now, Town of Salem. Let me just go ahead and do this. Alright, so now it comes up in a window just like this. When you're streaming, you're going to look at it this way. It's going to show all of this lovely stuff. You'll have your bar that's showing, you still have this part up here of the window that's showing, right? What I'm going to show you is how to get it to where you only have this inside part. So let me make this so that I can show you how to do it with OBS. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit here, you're going to right click add. What you're going to look for is window capture. Now, a window capture is basically what it is. It's going to capture the window source instead of the whole monitor. So when you do your window capture, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave now. So now it automatically shows me Town of Salem because that was the most recent one that I opened. If you have something else that's open and you want to catch that window, you can just click the drop down and you can select from the list. So we're going to Town of Salem for now. If you want to capture the mouse, you could leave this checked. Otherwise, you could uncheck it. Everything else you can leave blank. Now, the key part is how to make sure that you don't show everything else that's here. What you're going to do is that you're going to hit sub-region, and then after that, you're going to select sub-region. Now, it does it because it's on stream right now. There's going to be a box that comes up that covers the whole window. What you're going to do, that there are outlines to it, you're going to slide those outlines just inside of the window itself. And then the top one, you're going to bring it down to where it's below the bar, your browser bar and everything. So it doesn't show your browser, it doesn't show all marks and all of that. They don't see the web address. They're only going to see what's inside this box. All right. So when you're done, it'll tell you escape or click outside of this rectangle when complete. I'm going to click outside of it. Now, if you look in OBS, it's going to say, so I'm going to say the size. This is the size with the window that it's going to be. And then the position is the region that you selected. So once when you're done here, you're going to hit OK. And I'm going to close out my monitor capture. And I'm going to move this order. So we're going to move down. There we go. So now in OBS, let me see what happens if I move it. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, so now to the other monitor so that I can play around with this some. I'm going to full size OBS. Actually, I could turn my monitor capture back on. Nope, that didn't work. I had a feeling it was going to do that. But if you look now, there's no longer a window border. You don't see the Google. You don't see Google Chrome anywhere. Solely what's inside of it. Now, to resize it to the image size that you want. So let's just say you want to make it the full. You're going to hit edit scene right here. And then after you hit edit scene, there's going to be a red outline around what you want to do. Something else, all you have to do is just click inside what you want to change. Inside sources rather, I'm sorry. And then you just use your mouse to drag it out. So there, I just dragged it out to where it panned to the full size that in that direction, and just push and hold the shift key and then drag. And look at that. Now it covers the whole screen. You've seen. And now what we have showing here, if I get rid of the monitor capture, and when it comes up on the stream there, you're going to see nothing but this whole game without any showing, nor any borderlines from the browser. Shouldn't be. If it's off, you can always go back and change it. All you have to do is just monitor capture here. And then just once again. Bam. All right. So if you want to change the area from here, right click the source, go to properties. And then if you need to select the region to change it, all you have to do is just hit this select region button. You can go back to the change what you need to change, and then you're good to go. That's it. Pretty simple. So this way, people will no longer see the browser itself. They're only going to see what you're playing. They don't need to know that it's a browser game that you're playing if you don't want them to. If it doesn't bother you, you can just go ahead and do the entire. Otherwise, you can go this route to show a better, have a better image. You have a better outlook on the game. And then, you can just here and there to what you need. So let me go ahead, turn that off, unedit the scene. Now, another thing, so let's just say you're no longer playing a browser game, you're actually playing a video game. All right, you're playing something that's stored on the computer. At this point, you have two options. One, you can do a window capture if you set the game into window mode. If the game does not have a window mode, what game do I want to open to test it with? Let's do NBA 2K14. Because it always comes up in a window, I can set it up for either one. I just gotta wait. Oh, I gotta open Steam first. Or is it gonna open without Steam? Let's see. Nope. Steam has to open. So I have to wait on Steam to open real quick here, and then I can show you this. But basically, you're going to take you could do a screen capture from the game. Oh, here we go. It's open now. Here. Mute that. All right. So this one is going to be a window capture, or two would be the actual game source itself. Now, I'm going to show you, I already showed capture. I'm going to show you how to do a game capture now. You go to add, and then down here, you're going to have game capture. Now, you got to make sure that you have the most recent version. Well, because if you have an older version of OBS, game capture is most likely not going to be on there. You select the game capture. You can name it whatever you want to name it. Hit OK. Over here, you're going to have the application. From the drop down list, you find the game that's playing. Like right now, I have NBA 2K14. Select that. Stretch the image to screen. Ignore. Main reason why you do these is so that way when the game comes up, it's going to fill the whole box of OBS. If you don't want it to fill the whole box and you want to stretch it yourself, you can uncheck. I don't like having mouse clicks. I don't like having my mouse show at all when I'm playing a game. That's just me. It's a personal reference. You can set it however you want to set it. It's like if you don't have it set to full screen. So once when you get done with that, okay, this game is already in full screen resolution because it's already set for 1080. 1920 by 1080. You can always edit by hitting edit scene, and then after that you can move it to however you want to. Another thing, crap. It's still too big. There we go. All right. Let's just say you added it, but it's like, oh crap, I can't see all the other stuff that I had before. All you have to do is right click it, go to order, and then you can change the order by going up, then move to top or move to bottom. So I have text that I had on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to text. I'm going to go to order, and then I'm going to move to top. So that way it stays on top. For the current, for what I have currently here. Now, we have our game. We want to set up a webcam. I already have one, the new one, so that you can see how it goes when you set it up. You right click, inside sources, go to add, and then from there you're going to go to video capture device. That is going to be where you have to record your video. Go to video capture. And then after video capture, you can name it whatever you want. Hit OK. And then a box is going to pop up. Now, oh, can't see it right now, but I'm going to show you something. Let me cancel. So right now, my CPU usage is sitting at around 80 to 90% with the game plan. Key reason being, I have an internet browser open. As soon as I close, it drops significantly. I closed it, it's dropping between 70 and 65. Another reason why is the capture going, which is eating at a lot of resources. As soon as I get rid of this, it's going to show it at like around 45 to 50 on my end. So as I was stating before, let's go ahead. We're going to go here, right click in sources, go to add, go to video capture device. We're going to go right here. I'm just going to leave it as video capture device 2. It's going to pop up and it's going to show my webcam, which is Logitech HD webcam, blah, 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 blah. You can configure it manually if you want, unless you want to nitpick on gamma and whatnot. You can't. I'm not going to. You go here. If you have other ones, you can just right click, select the ones that you want to put in, go from there. If you have multiple, you're just going to set up each one just like this, and you're going to select the different webcam for each one at that point. Now, video resolution. Max resolution for my webcam is 1280 by 960. I can set it at 720 if I want. The FPS as well. You can use any kind of buffering, whatever you want at that point. I typically leave that blank. I leave that alone. Just whatever the camera is going to give me is going to give me. The thing here is that if you have a microphone on the webcam itself, make sure you disable it. Because if it's enabled, it's going to pick up the sound from the microphone that you set on for the Steam, and then it's going to pick up that mic, and it's going to cause a whole lot of issues because it's going to be an echo. Now, the only time that you want to do this is if you have someone that's sitting in front of a camera, commentary with you, then yeah, you want to go ahead and activate the microphone for that camera. So let's just say, for instance, here I have the microphone for my headset, for my Blue Snowball. I disabled the one for my webcam to make sure it never comes up. But if it was enabled, it would give that camera as that microphone as an option as well. You would set those up, and then you would go ahead and change their volume here. Say that it outputs directly to the stream. That is key for making sure that you don't have an echo in your headset. The sound is only going to be played directly. All right. Now from there, once when you're done with everything, you just hit OK. Source using this device already exists. Okay, no problem. I'll show you what it looks like. Already using one. Let me see. Video capture device. We'll edit scene for this one. There we go. Let me set it back to looks when it first comes up. Oh, right there. We're gonna put this, move it up one. Okay, so this is how it comes up when you first start the camera. It's going to come up as a base image. You can move it around as long as you hit edit scene. Okay, so what you want to do here, let's just say I wanted to show everything from like to up to here. I don't want it to show anything else. So shift will allow you to drag the image wherever you want it to. The other one is the alt key. the Alt key is going to change the dimensions of the box itself. So let's just say this 1280 by 960. You can change the dimensions of it by holding the Alt key, and then when you drag, that means that it's cutting out, it's cropping that video. And I drag it back up to where it is normally. So I can do this. I'm going to drag this side over here. Move that over there so I get to this line here. Move that like so. Now, all I have is just the area around my head. Now, let's just say you got a green screen to where that is working. What you do is you go here, go to properties for that webcam. On here, bottom left, use chroma key. All right, as soon as I did that, the color was selected for white. Okay, so let's just say we're going to select the let's just say I'm going to select the wall. So from here, it cut out everything that's in that color. Main reason why you want to use a color that's solid is so that it's one solid color. Normally people go with green, and you don't have to buy those elaborate green screens. You can use pretty much whatever. If you have a green bed sheet, something that's not going to be transparent, you can use that. You need something that's solid of color. So I'm gonna go ahead, cancel that. I'm gonna put this back to where it was, because I don't like my webcam being like that. That's 1, 2, and 3. And I'm gonna make this back to being a full screen. Slide that on over that way. Slide that on down. Back off. All right. So I showed you how to go ahead, put in the webcam. We added the game capture just to show you that the game is still working. All I have to do is just check the game back, and here we go. Here's the game. It's back in play. It is working on the screen right now. I'll show you how to add text here and how to make it scroll. Like, I already have this up here so that, you know, if you have any questions, you can email me or message me here on Twitch. We're going to add something else. Text. Name it whatever you want. And then from here, you got fonts. You have options. So let's just say I like being silly. I like Comic Sans at times. So right now, we have Comic Sans. Oh, remove. Wait. So that you can actually see what I'm doing here. Text. And then here, font, you can use the drop down, choose whatever font style you want. I'm going to go with Comic Sans. We got the color. You can change the color to whatever color you want it to be. Font size, I normally leave the font size at 48. 48 is the size that you see here on the screen right now. Top. So over here you have options. You can make it bold, italicize, underline. You can have it going vertical up and down. Normally I just use bold and italic and I'm done. Comic Sans. Now background color. Background color changes a shading behind your text. So right now I'm going to leave it blank so I can show you what it looks like when it comes off the monitor capture when I set this up, so you can see what it looks like just on a black background altogether. Outlines is to make the lettering more bold. I'm using the outline right now on this, and the outlining that I'm using is at a scale of thickness of 10 is at 100. So text that I'm going to put in here. Hey, welcome to the channel. All right, so we do that. Now, This way it's just going to get the text to come up on the screen. All we got to do is say edit scene, move it. We're going to set it right here. I'm going to get rid of the monitor capture, and this is what you see on the screen. So it says, hey, welcome to the channel, by going to edit scene, turning that on, selecting the box, and then just moving it to where you want it, right? So it looks good on a black background because it's black and it's white lettering on there, right? So we're going to go ahead and bring the monitor capture back up. So what do you do when you have all of this background going, or you're playing a game and you know the game changes colors? So let me bring the game capture back up. So you got this white, right? Sometimes it look good, sometimes it does not. So how do you make it more loud, so to speak, to where it doesn't take away from the game, but at the same token, it's still there? So what we're going to do, let me do this. We're going to go to properties. And then we're going to change some aspect to it. So we're going to give it an outline. Now, once when you have it up on the screen and you're making any changes to it, the changes are in real time. So right now I'm using an outline. We're going to set the thickness of 20. Now, if you notice, when I set the thickness to 20, look at how thick the lining is, right? Now, with this being said here, this is going to show you, you can set the outline as thick as you want it to be. I like to keep it around 10 because it's a nice even outline around the lettering. The screen. So let's just say you wanted to scroll. You wanted to go, you know, it's a message that you have going around the top of the screen or in the middle, whatever you want. This is good for people who want to use the titles of songs that they're playing. You're going to go over here to where it says use cut. Check that box. It's going to be 100, 100. That's the normal. Your font size, pretty much whatever your font size is, you want to add 10 to it. So this is 48. We're going to set this number on the right to 58. So that way it captures all of the words. Your size, this is what it's going to be from left to right. This message isn't that big. We'll set it at like 500. So that should capture. All right. So now we wanted to scroll. So you're going to check mark on wrap. Then over here at scroll speed, if you start editing it, I'm going to move the text. Now, this is at 50. It's a pretty decent moving message. People can still read it. Now, one thing that I will, you want to set a spacing at the end of it so that the lettering doesn't overlap. This one's doing pretty good because I have Comic Sans. It has like a pretty good spacing in between it normally. But if you use like Arial, it's like whatever ends the first end. So if you add spacing to it, let's see. Add spacing. Okay, Comic Sans doesn't really affect it as much. Arial, you need spacing at the end to make sure that the letters don't overlap each other when it comes through and starts scrolling. Just look when it's in a game. This is a still image with the monitor capture. Let's do the game capture so I can show you. There you go. See, it says, hey, welcome to the channel. We're going to edit the scene. We're going to move this down to the bottom left. So this way, you got a welcoming message there. And then you also have the gameplay. Let's just say I didn't have this going on at the top. So this is what they would see when they come into the channel. Plain, simple, good to the point. All right, so let me get that back on there. We're gonna get rid of that, and we're gonna remove the game capture. Come back to the monitor capture. All right, so let's see here. I went over text. I went over video captures. We got a game capture. We did a window. Did a monitor capture. Oh, monitor capture, by the way, is pretty simple. If you need to use it, you just right click, add monitor capture. If you have multiple monitors, this drop down here, I could change it to monitor 1 and then monitor 1. Here you go. Let's go back to monitor 2. And then from here, you can say if you need multiple windows. Don't worry about capturing layered windows. It's not needed. Compatibility mode is not needed. Only time you need compatibility mode is if they're with OBS picking it up. That's the only time you need to worry about compatibility mode. So like older games, you need compatibility mode. Other than that, that's it. You're good to go. If you wanted to chroma key it, you can right here. Select the color that you want to remove and it'll remove it. And last but not least, let's see, what else can we add here? Images and image slideshow. Okay, these are two cool ones here. If you add an img, if it's going to be all right, SCC, thanks for hanging out, man. If you're going to add a image, make sure it's a PNG file so that way you don't have any loud backgrounds to conflict with what you're using. One thing you want to try to make sure is that when you select an image here, I'll show you an image that I use. So go down here, C drive stuff, top items. All right. So let me show you the difference between having a PNG file and a non-PNG file. Oh, by the way, if you're using an overlay, this is how you would do it as well. These are PNG files as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and select this one. All right, this is a PNG file. As you noticed, it's big as fuck. It's taking the whole screen. The larger the PNG file, the better the resolution would be when it comes up. Now, all you have to do is just change the size of it. It doesn't deter, it doesn't take away from it. But if it's a smaller image and you try to make it big, it's going to look pixelated. So you always want to try to go with the biggest image possible and then just make it smaller. All right, so this is a PNG file. So as you notice, there's no background to it. It's just the image itself. So let's add a picture that is not a PNG file. Oh, I have here. I'll just use a picture of myself. So if my picture was a PNG file, it would just have my face and, you know, none of the background. So with this picture being here, this is a Kirby. There we go. And then we're going to bring the game back up. So they're both big. This is not the point that I'm trying to make. But if you look at them, which looks better for the game? A picture that's taken out some of the image, or an image that's just what you're wanting to use itself. You can use of the game title to put on there. That's another good one a good way to look at it. So let me get rid of that picture. And then we're gonna, right there. Let's just say you do that, and then you want to add text to it. We're going to move it to like right there, and then we're going to put it on top of the Kirby. There we go. So now we have the text over on top of the Kirby. And then, there you go. So now, an image slideshow, I'm going to, versus trying to show you, because if I try to show you, it'll take too long. Basically, if you have a still image, let's just say your name. And inside your name, you have different colors, and they scale from left to right. How do you get that to show without I could show y'all. I could do it. Let me do that. So we're going to add, I got it as a global source, so that's going to work. We'll do this. All right, so as you notice, I just added a file. Colors are going to change on the icons from top to bottom. And you see how it fades in and whatnot. You're able to do this with your own files as long as you have the same structure of file and you have a different image to each one. And all you have to do is order of the images and add them in. And I'll show you how to do that here. Remove the game capture. So we're back here. So you're going to go here, you're going to go add, you're going to add an image slideshow. Now your image slideshow is going to ask you time between images. The lowest that OBS allows you is 3 seconds. If you wanted to fade, do your fade in. And then you're going to hit add. Now, images, you're going to go into the folder where the images are and then add them in. I think they're over here. Yeah, here they are. So basically I have these images. So let's just say I wanted to go top to bottom. Put on 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 needs to go to the very bottom, so that way it is the last image loaded. Once when you get done setting these images up, you're going to hit OK, and then here you go. Pretty simple, right? If you need to edit a scene, you want to make it a different size, you go here, select the image, and then drag it. You know, you can skew the size of it, whatever you need to do at that point. Once when you're done, hit edit scene again. When you stop, when you put it in the area that you want it to be, you can leave it right there. So now it's a slideshow that's showing different functions, and then you got your game capture right here. So this is how it would look while you're streaming. All right, now one other thing I'm going to go over. There's a lot, like on Twitch, you can add the text from your stream directly to the stream itself. I will show you where to get it, and they have their own tutorials for it. All I can tell you is just make sure you follow the tutorials on there. It's not hard setting them up. Let's open the internet browser. Bring it over here. nightdev.com. This is where you want to get everything OBS. All right. And we'll get rid of that. All right. So when you go over here to night dev, I'll bring this up in full screen. When you go to night dev, go to projects. And the one that you want is OBS chat. So we'll open this in the new follower alert. And if you want to use their donation alert, all you have to do is just dev.com/donation alert. All right. Yes, chat. This is what it looks like without any borders or anything like that. This is actually showing from someone's channel. All you have to do, hit install. It tells you right here, this version is 32-bit OBS only. All right. Recent form of OBS is already going to have CLR browser in it. All you have to do is hit next. It's going to ask you for your Twitch username. Put that in there. Uh-oh. I messed up. Little killer. Next. And then it's going to show you your link. Copy. And it tells you what height you can use. Height of 600, width of 300 is what they use on the screen when you first come to this. You hit next. Now, this right here is crucial. This area, whatever you do, do not close out of that. Now, I'm going to show you how to set it up in OBS. I will show you how to do this one, because this one is pretty simple. So what you're going to add CLR browser. Now, it's going to ask you for the link. You're going to put the link in here. They say use 600 by 300. Now, from here, it's going to add the CLR browser. Let me see. Over here in this window, I'm going to set it right here in the middle of the screen. Let me make sure. Okay. Should have loaded the chat by now. But this right here, this is how you get an outline on your chat to where it's just not black text. This way it's black with a white border on it. Make sure you copy that. You're going to go to your source for, you're going to go here into CSS. Copy Control A, copy all, and then you're going to hit Control V to paste what you got there. Hit OK. There we go. Now it's loading the chat. What it looks like in the game. I'm going to go here, game capture. And here's what your text looks like in game. You want to see that it works. All you have to do is go over here. Yeah, they gave me the whole night off. So we're going to go here and we're going to type something. Hello. How's everyone? Testing the OBS chat. All of the text that's showing in the stream, and And Yoshi, why'd you break my bot? Why is it not showing the command for the sandwich? So now Yoshi's playing around with everything. You get to see Yoshi in her fine glory spamming everything in the chat. So now this is where I changed things up a bit with this. Edit. I don't like the text being here. We're going to go to properties and I'm going to show you. Oh, hold on. I'm going to show you my dimensions that I use. All right. So these, I use a width of, and then my height, I use 750. So now it is a more streamlined size. It can fit over on one side of the screen. It's non-intrusive or anything like that. Roy, what you got going on here, and you're good to go. For the rest of the alerts that are on there, I suggest using their sizes that they tell you. But yeah, once when you're here, you're done. You have your OBS chat here. Shows you how to the follow alerts to where they pop up on the screen. If you have a donation button set and you want your donations to pop up on the screen, this will show you how to do that as well. Oh wow, this is a video longer than I expected. Scenes, you can set them up the same way. So like for me, I have an opening. This is the opening before they started banning music. That's bound to F1. And then I have the game screen here, which is bound to F2. I have my cam only, which is bound to F3. And then I have my closing, which I'll show you how to set this up as well with this video. So let me go ahead. Now, if you're wanting to do a video closing and you already have it on your computer, the video, your best way to do it is to, you're going to add CLR browser. No, I'm sorry, not CLR. Going to add, there should be a video option. Hit video, hit OK. By the way, this is how I stream any kind of video that's on my computer. And what you're going to do here, since the monitor resolution is set 1920 by 1080, you want to make sure that you put that in there. 1920, 1080. Output audio to your device, to your headset, so you can hear what it sounds. If the sound doesn't bother you, you can go ahead and say output to stream and set it at 100. One thing that I will, and you talk, it will drown out your audio because it's making the audio from your video the primary. All right, Yoshi, have a good one. And then from here, what you will do is that you will come down here, the audio output to your headset, audio module is going to be DirectX, and then audio device is going to be whatever you're using for your primary sound. It has to match what's in OBS for the sound output, otherwise they won't hear it unless you do output to stream. And to give you a test and show you what it add a URL for a YouTube video right here, and it will show that YouTube video. I'll get you an example. Actually, let me close this. I think I already have a link in here. Copies. We're going to add. We're going to say OK. And I'm just waiting on the video to pop up. If it does not, start the video over. This is why I don't use the links. Remove. Click it, remove it. I'm just going to use a file that's on my computer. So let me make sure it removed it. Then we're going to go here. Question mark. You're going to go to where the video files are. And then you're just going to select one. And you hit OK. It's going to load the video. So this is how you get video to play through OBS to where it shows up on the screen. All right. So now you see how to use a video closing if you wanted to do one. Main thing that I would tell you is if you set up OBS chat and whatnot, go to global sources and set them up here. Set them up the same way and it'll give you the sources. Select the sources you want to use. So this way, when you set them up on multiple screens, they're seamless. They're always going. And that's pretty much it. So I'll be posting this onto YouTube as well. On YouTube is PlutoKiller.tv. And you can email me. Email sitting at the top of the screen. You can message me on Twitch. Whatever you need. If you have questions, just let me know. And you folks all have a great day. Thanks for hanging out, watching the